decent human being cosplayer, always been strange and creepy, Peter Mandelson has at last been taken to task by the establishment. The establishment, of course, which up until now, at least, he's been very much part of. Let's listen to a snippet from an interview, a conversation between Ian Hislop and Andrew Marr.
He's in his underpants on your front page, and the caption says, "I've let myself down, my party down, and my trousers down." I'm afraid that is the picture. You don't really want to see it too closely.
No, and I was pleased to see that Starmer himself used the phrase, "he's let the country down." We didn't know he was going to do our joke, but, fair enough.
Let me ask you about Mandelson,
Yes.
Because there have been so many Mandelson stories over the years. Are you surprised that after all of that, Keir Starmer brought him back and made him ambassador to Washington?
Yeah, I was absolutely amazed. It seemed to me an incredible lack of judgment and also lack of political nous. I mean, he'd already blown up twice. This is third time lucky for the public. And let's hope, he is Prince of Darkness, but let's hope the stake is firmly in the heart this time. Because there is no justification, knowing what he knew, for appointing him to be ambassador.
An incredible lack of judgment indeed. And I think it's right that publications like Private Eye take the mickey out of these people, take the piss, in fact, because that's exactly what they've been doing to most of the population over the years by their lack of accountability, their wheeling and dealing, they're living in the shadows and living actually a very, very good life in terms of luxury, riches, income. Stresses and strains that they face are nothing like the stresses and strains of the normal, so-called, everyday working man and woman. From the BBC, we can see here that the Metropolitan Police has launched a criminal investigation into Lord Mandelson, or soon to be no longer a lord by the looks of it, following claims he passed market-sensitive information to Jeffrey Epstein, Steen, whatever he's called. It comes amid cross-party condemnation of Mandelson, good, as documents released by the US Department of Justice on Friday suggest he passed on internal government information while he was serving in Gordon Brown's cabinet in 2009 and 2010. Yes, this guy's been around for quite some time, and there he is, sneaking about, passing sensitive internal government information. Why? What are you up to? Who are you actually loyal to? Well, we know the answer. To him. He's loyal to himself. And people like that should never be in positions of power or influence. Let's look on. Same article. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch said it only increases the scrutiny on Starmer for appointing Mandelson as US ambassador last year. It does indeed. I've talked about that before. I'm not the only person. It was bonkers at the time. It seemed odd. Anyway, let's read on. Lib Dem leader Ed Davey said Mandelson jumped before he was pushed and that there should be an inquiry into the allegations. And this, of course, is live. This is a developing situation. Things are changing and they don't look good for Mandelson, and neither they should. Again, we'll read on. Earlier in the day, Cabinet Minister Wes Streeting had said he couldn't see how the specific allegations against Mandelson could have been known prior to his appointment as ambassador. Wes, that's a misstep from you, son. Really, seriously. I know what you're playing at. You want to make the operative word the specific allegations. Specific. Yeah, you probably didn't know they're specific, but come on, sunshine. You knew, we knew at a distance, and you're part of that quagmire. You're swimming about in it. Maybe you'll change it. Maybe you'll be one of the good ones. But this sort of statement, it does you no good whatsoever, because you would have heard much more detail in terms of the whispers and indeed probably what had happened and was going on than most people in the UK or indeed all around the world. So that sort of language seems weaselly and slimy. Don't do it. Don't do it if you want to get on. People really have had enough of that sort of bollocks. Anyway, let's move on. Same article. Another email that month showed Epstein-Stein checking in on Mandelson before urging him again to push for a bigger role in government. Again, this is back in time. This is Gordon Brown's tenure. A bigger role in government, potentially to replace Alistair Darling. Who is this Epstein-Stein guy? What the hell? As Chancellor? As a politician, I can't let you walk away from an Olympic silver medal, he wrote on November 18. This is Epstein-Stein writing this. As a politician, you shouldn't have to walk away from getting a silver medal. Good stuff, mate. Who did you think you were? Well, problem is you were somebody because you obviously were hugely influential. And what do? You predate, again, those who are the weak links. And Mandelson, of course, relatively recently has said, in an attempt to sort of wriggle away from the net closing in all around him, that, no, this whole affair with Epstein-Stein, he didn't bother with me because he knew I was gay. That's some sort of defense, is it? It's, what, seriously? Come on. But these people are also just a little bit thick as well. Or they think we're thick. Mandelson's reply seemingly implied that he had floated the idea to Gordon Brown himself, but was not receptive. Brown was not receptive. The PM totally against. I have to accept, I think. You're not as daft as some people thought you might have been, Gordon. Really? Seriously? I mean, who are you going to choose between Epstein-Stein and Gordon Brown and Mandelson? I mean, good grief. Gordon Brown used to annoy me a lot, but I know who I'd rather trust in day-to-day situations. We now know those two. Then, this is, it says there, live at the time of recording this. Mandelson lied repeatedly to my team, and I regret appointing him as ambassador, Starmer says. And the subtext, Conservative leader Kemi calls on the PM to publish all documents on Mandelson's appointment in 2024, accusing him of trying to sabotage the release with exemptions. Yeah, meaning, of course, the usual, kind of redaction type thing. Doesn't want to tell the full story. And in the mix there, one would presume that Morgan McSweeney is implicated as well. I said this at the time. A lot of people said it at the time. It was so peculiar. Why would you appoint him? Because what we're seeing here, folks, is the tip of the iceberg. It's that the establishment's equivalent of the dark web. These people who are connected, who've all got stuff against each other, who keep themselves afloat no matter what, until it becomes just untenable, like Mandelson has become. Boom, you're out, son. And that's it. And these conversations, these people making these deals, whispering in the ears of those people who are actually in positions, the ones that we know about, but they're manipulating from behind the scenes, that type of dark web is disgusting. Unfortunately, it's been going on for a while, and it still is going on. But this is why I come back to it's so important to demand from anyone who's in power, and certainly running for power, for office, whatever you want to call it, that they are transparent, that they are quizzed. What do you really represent? How will you do what you said or are saying you're going to do? Do we have some track record we can look at? How can we hold you to account from day one? Like a probation period. Wouldn't that be the case if someone was going into a job? Isn't it also interesting, again, I've talked about this before, but as an aside, when some people get into these positions, I'm not talking specifically politics, but of course, politics is also in the mix. But let's say an organization, it's almost as if the higher up someone is placed, the less the probation period is until it isn't there. Because people presume, they're going to be great. I don't think so. I think everyone needs to be accountable. I think everything needs to be transparent. I think everyone needs to be, let's say, measured, checked in on.